What if everything you've been told about burning fat was wrong? Think about it. How many times have you started a diet full of hope, only to feel like a failure just a few weeks in? How often have you stared at yourself in the mirror, wondering why nothing is changing, why your body refuses to respond despite all your effort? Maybe you've tried counting calories, drinking green juices, running for hours, or cutting out every food you love, yet the results never seem to match your struggle. And deep down, there's this growing voice whispering, maybe I'm just not meant to win this battle. But here's what they never told you. It's not your fault. You've been handed broken strategies from an industry that thrives on keeping you confused. The fitness world bombards you with new trends, miracle products, and flashy workouts. Not because they work, but because your failure is profitable. They sell hope in a bottle and distractions in disguise, and when it doesn't work, they let you carry the guilt, like you lacked discipline, like your willpower was the problem. It's a lie, because the truth is simple. So simple, in fact, that it gets buried beneath the noise. There is a way, a real, scientifically backed method that works faster and more effectively than anything else. It doesn't require starving yourself, it doesn't need expensive equipment, and it sure doesn't need perfection. It just needs one thing from you, the courage to stop looking for shortcuts and start looking within. And that's exactly what you'll walk away with by the end of this. A clear, powerful strategy rooted in science that can burn fat, reshape your body, and most importantly, restore your belief in yourself. Because this isn't just about what you see in the mirror. This is about reclaiming your strength, feeling confident when you wake up, walking into a room and knowing you are in control of your life. That's what fat loss really unlocks, not just a smaller waist, but a bigger sense of power. But to reach that, you need to start with the hard truth. There is no magic button. No one is coming to save you. If you want change, it begins with responsibility, not self-blame. Responsibility, there's a big difference. Blame says, I failed, so I'm not good enough. Responsibility says, I failed, so now I'm going to change something. It gives you your power back, because you can't change what you don't take control of. And that's where real transformation begins, not in a gym, but in your mind. Let's be honest, the frustration you feel right now isn't just about fat. It's about broken promises. The times you let yourself down, the missed vacations because you didn't feel comfortable, the clothes you stopped wearing, the confidence you stopped feeling, and it hurts. But it doesn't have to stay that way, because no matter how long you've struggled, how many times you've failed, or how far gone you feel, you're not broken. Your body is not your enemy. You're just missing the right path. And the most powerful part, that path already exists. It's been studied, tested, proven, but it doesn't come wrapped in hype. It comes quietly, with clarity, commitment, and a willingness to finally stop chasing distractions. If you stay with this, you'll uncover the fastest method known to science to burn fat and ignite your metabolism. But more than that, you'll find out what you're really capable of. You'll stop trying and start becoming, because this isn't just about fitness, it's about freedom. The freedom to move without pain, the freedom to wake up with energy, the freedom to live in a body that reflects your discipline, not your doubts. That kind of transformation doesn't come from gimmicks, it comes from truth, and you're about to hear it. So before you give up, before you scroll past this thinking, I've heard it all before, pause, take a breath, because this time, it's different. This time it's real. You're not here by accident. You're here because a part of you still believes change is possible. A part of you is tired of starting over and ready to finish what you began. That part of you deserves a chance. Not next week, not tomorrow, not tomorrow, but now. Stay with this. You're about to discover something that can finally unlock the fat-burning potential inside you. And when you do, everything changes. So what is the truth they've been keeping from you? It's this: fat loss is not a mystery. It's not random. It's not about good luck, genetics, or some elite secret that only a few people know. It's about energy. Your body is a machine and it follows rules. One of those rules is this: if you consistently use more energy than you take in, your body has no choice but to burn stored fat. That's the foundation. That's the law. No gimmick will ever replace it. But why does that feel so hard to follow? Because most people try to force results using willpower alone. They cut calories too fast, they overtrain, and they burn out. They fall for complex routines they can't stick to. And when the weight doesn't fall off overnight, they get frustrated. They think something's wrong with them. But here's what they're missing. Fat loss isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right thing consistently. And science has already shown us what that is. The human body is designed to survive. It adapts quickly. So when you do the same low effort cardio every day, your body adjusts. It finds ways to use less energy. That's why walking on a treadmill for an hour, while still good for your heart, doesn't always deliver fast fat loss. Your body becomes efficient. And efficiency, in this case, works against you. But there's something your body can't adapt to as easily: intensity. When you push your limits in short, explosive bursts, your body responds differently. It's not just about the calories you burn during the workout, it's about what happens after. And that's the key most people miss. Your body keeps burning energy long after the workout is done. It's called the afterburn effect, and it's triggered by a very specific kind of training. High intensity interval training, HIIT, is the method backed by dozens of scientific studies. It's fast, brutal, and incredibly effective. You give maximum effort for a short period, then rest, then repeat. It trains your muscles, your heart, and your mind all at once. In just 20 minutes, you can create a hormonal and metabolic shift that ignites fat burning for hours after you're finished. And here's what's even more powerful. HIIT targets the kind of fat that's hardest to lose: visceral fat, belly fat, the stubborn areas most people struggle with. It doesn't just melt the surface, it changes your body at a cellular level. It trains your metabolism to run hotter, faster, stronger. Your body becomes more efficient at using fat as fuel. And you don't need a gym, you don't need machines. You just need your body and the willingness to go all in. This is where the shift begins, from chasing results to creating them. You don't have to work out for hours. You just have to show up with intensity, burn fast, recover, burn again. In the same amount of time you spend scrolling your phone, you can do something that transforms your body and rebuilds your confidence. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what works. But there's more. HIIT doesn't just burn fat, it builds resilience. Mental resilience. Every time you push past your limit, your brain learns something new. I can do hard things. That belief starts to leak into every part of your life. You show up differently. You speak with more certainty. You move with purpose. The discipline you build through training becomes the foundation of everything else. This is the kind of growth that can't be bought or borrowed. It must be earned. And once you earn it, no one can take it from you. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be experienced. You just need to be willing to try, to sweat, to struggle, because struggle creates strength. And the moment you stop avoiding it and start embracing it, you become unstoppable. That's what HIIT teaches you. Not just how to burn fat, but how to become fear. This is the tool that changes everything, not because it's easy, but because it works. And in a world full of distractions and empty promises, that's what matters. Results that come from effort, confidence that comes from doing what you said you would do, a body that reflects the fire inside of you. If you've been waiting for a sign to take control, this is it. If you've been waiting for a reason to believe again, here it is. Not in some far off future, but now, right now, 20 minutes, full intensity. That's your edge. That's your weapon. And it's been within you this entire time. You don't need more information. You don't need another plan. You need action, real, consistent, focused action. Because once you start, something inside you changes. Not just your weight, not just your shape, but your standard. You stop settling. You stop hiding. You start rising. This is where fat loss becomes freedom, where workouts become a weapon, where movement becomes power, and where you finally realize you were built for more. But even with the most effective tool in your hands, none of it matters if your mind isn't ready, because the real enemy isn't your body, it's your comfort. It's the part of you that wants to stay safe, to avoid pain, to choose easy over effort. That's the voice that whispers, you can do it later. The one that says, it's okay to skip today, and every time you listen to it, you drift further from who you were meant to become. Your mind is a battlefield. Every day, you're faced with a choice. Repeat the cycle or break it. Stay stuck or level up. It doesn't matter how effective HIIT is, how many fat cells it tortures, or how powerful the science is. If you don't win that war inside your head, you'll never experience the change your body is capable of. Because fat loss is physical, yes, but transformation, that's mental. You're not fighting fat, you're fighting habits, patterns, thoughts that have chained you down for years. And the only way to break them is through discipline, by doing what you said you would do, especially when you don't feel like it. That's the turning point. That's when change becomes permanent, when your actions start leading instead of your emotions. You see, every time you push through the resistance, you send a message to your subconscious: I am not weak. I am not quitting. I am not who I used to be. That message gets stronger the more you act on it. And over time, it becomes your new identity, not someone who tries to lose fat, someone who does, someone who shows up, someone who finishes. You stop waiting to feel motivated. You become the motivation. This is how high performers think. It's not about hype or hustle. It's about doing the work when no one is watching. It's about choosing the harder path on purpose, because you know that's where growth lives. You stop asking for things to get easier, and instead you get stronger, more focused, more relentless. Because now you understand every rep, every drop of sweat, every second of discomfort is building something much bigger than a leaner body. It's building you. No one ever became great by staying comfortable, and no one ever transformed by doing what was convenient. Real results are earned in silence, in early morning, sore muscles, and moments where you want to quit, but don't. Those moments are the fire. They are the forge where strength is created, where character is carved, and where the old you dies so the new you can be born. And make no mistake, there is a new you waiting, stronger, fitter, clearer, fierce, but you have to earn it. And that's why this matters, because it's not just a workout, not just a method, it's a mindset, a commitment to no longer tolerate the version of yourself that settles, that hides, that waits. Everything you want is on the other side of discomfort, that body you've imagined, that energy, that confidence. It's not a dream, it's a decision to show up every day and demand more from yourself. And it starts with one small act, doing the work. Not once, not when it's easy, but every single day you don't feel like it. Because those are the days that define you. You will have days when your body says no, when your mind screams for rest, when doubt tries to crawl back in. But that's exactly when you must remember who you're becoming. Every moment of struggle is a test, and every time you pass it, your fire burns brighter, your power grows, your discipline sharpens, until you don't just burn fat, you burn excuses, you burn fear, you burn every version of yourself that once accepted average. You're not here to shrink. You're here to rise, to transform, to reclaim what you lost, the self-respect, the control, the belief that you can bend reality through effort. The intensity proves the self. That's what HIIT gives you, not just faster results, but deeper conviction, because it demands your focus, your effort, your everything. And when you give it that, it gives back more than you ever expected. And the truth is, you're capable of more than you think. You've just been living beneath your potential, letting doubt lead the way. But that ends now, because now you have the truth. Now you have the method. Now you have the mindset. So no more waiting, no more hesitating, no more letting your feelings dictate your future. Show up, push hard, burn fat, build fire, own your journey, because no one else will do it for you. You've tried comfort, you've tried easy. Now it's time to try greatness. And greatness starts with one decision. I will not quit on myself ever again. Because once you stop quitting on yourself, you become dangerous. Not to others, but to every limitation that's ever tried to hold you down. You stop asking for permission. You stop needing approval. You stop waiting for the perfect time. You realize that perfection was never the goal. Progress is. And progress begins the moment you decide that your excuses are no longer welcome in your life. You don't rise by luck. You rise by doing what most people won't. You rise by waking up and moving your body, even when your mind begs you to rest. You rise by taking ownership of every choice you make, from what you eat to how you move to what you speak into your own soul. And with every decision, you either move closer to the life you want or further away. There is no standing still. Every moment is momentum. The only question is, are you moving forward or falling back? And let's be clear, this is not just about how you look. This is about how you live, because the way you treat your body is the way you treat your life. If you give yourself the bare minimum, you'll get the bare minimum back. But when you start showing up with intensity, with purpose, with a fire that refuses to die, you begin to attract results that match that energy. Your body starts to change, yes, but your entire reality begins to shift with it. Your confidence rises, your mood stabilizes, your energy increases, and you walk differently. You speak with more conviction because you're no longer hoping for change, you're creating it. The weight you want to lose, it's not just physical, it's emotional. It's the weight of regret, the weight of insecurity, the weight of missed opportunities and broken promises to yourself. And when you train with real effort, when you push your limits daily, you don't just burn fat, you burn through all of that. You release what no longer serves you. You sweat out the self-doubt. You breathe out the fear, and you rise stronger, sharper, more alive than ever before. But none of it happens if you wait until you feel ready. That moment never comes. Readiness is a lie we tell ourselves to delay change. The truth is, you become ready by doing the thing you're avoiding. Every workout is a statement. Every rep is a declaration. You're telling your body, your mind, and your future, I am here. I am committed. I am no longer waiting for a better day because I'm choosing to make this day better. And yes, it will be hard. It's supposed to be. Growth demands discomfort. But don't confuse hard with impossible. You're not fragile. You're not weak. You've just been unchallenged. The fire inside you is still there. It's just been buried under years of distractions, doubt, and delays. But once you tap into it, once you feel what it's like to choose pain over comfort, everything changes. Pain is not the enemy. Comfort is. Pain builds strength. Comfort breeds weakness. And every time you choose the pain of discipline over the pain of regret, you earn power, you earn clarity, you earn control over your future. That's what separates the ones who transform from the ones who stay stuck. It's not talent, it's not genetics, it's not luck, it's choice. And that choice is made in small moments. The moment you hit start on a workout, the moment you refuse to skip, the moment you push through the final minute when your legs are shaking and your lungs are burning, that's where transformation lives. Not in some distant finish line, but in that decision to give your all right now. That's how you reclaim your confidence. Not by waiting until you've changed, but by acting like you've already become the person who refuses to give up. Because you are that person. You always have been. You just haven't fully stepped into it yet. But now you know the truth. You know what works. You know what it takes. And you know that nothing will ever change unless you change first. Not tomorrow, not next week, but now. This is the moment, the one where you decide to stop negotiating with your old self, the one where you stop making room for weakness, the one where you stop believing the lie that your best days are behind you. They're not. They're waiting. But they're waiting on you to show up. So show up, stand tall, breathe deep, and remember, your body is not the enemy. It's your greatest ally. It wants to be strong. It wants to be lean. It wants to thrive. All it needs is for you to lead. Give it a reason to change. Give it a challenge to rise to, and it will respond. Because fat loss is not about punishment. It's about power. The power to rise above your excuses. The power to demand more from yourself. The power to finally become the version of you that you know you're capable of being. And that power, it's already inside you. Now's the time to let it out. There's a shift that happens the moment you take full responsibility, not partial, not conditional, but complete ownership over your results, your energy, your body, and your future. That shift is where transformation truly begins. Because once you stop blaming your circumstances, once you stop pointing fingers at your past, your schedule, your genetics, your stress, you finally reclaim your power. And nothing is more powerful than a person who takes full control of their life. That's when fat loss becomes more than physical. It becomes personal. It's not about fitting into a smaller size. It's about no longer shrinking your standards, no longer shrinking your goals, no longer shrinking you. It's about expanding your capacity, your strength, your self-respect. You stop doing it for others. You stop chasing approval. You begin to move, train, and eat with intention because you're done letting your potential go to waste. There's a fire that comes from knowing you're living with purpose. You feel it when you start your day with action instead of excuses. When you sweat not to punish yourself, but to free yourself. When you push past your comfort zone, knowing that's where growth lives. Every drop of sweat is evidence that you showed up. Every elevated heartbeat is proof that you refuse to settle. And every sore muscle is a reminder that you're building something real, not just a body, but a life you're proud to live in. The scale doesn't define your worth. The mirror doesn't control your confidence. Because your value isn't tied to your appearance, it's tied to your effort, your commitment, your willingness to get up every time you fall. And when you train with that mindset, everything starts to change. You no longer obsess over outcomes. You fall in love with the process. The daily grind becomes your sanctuary. The challenge becomes your fuel. And that's where real confidence comes from, not from comfort, but from competence, from knowing you can handle discomfort, from proving to yourself day after day that you can do hard things, that no matter what life throws at you, you'll still show up, still fight, still rise. That kind of confidence is unshakable. It doesn't fade when you're tired. It doesn't disappear when you hit a plateau. It stays because it's rooted in who you've become, not what you've achieved. You can't fake that. You can't buy it. You can't borrow it from someone else. You earn it. One decision at a time, one workout at a time. One disciplined meal at a time. It's built in silence. It's built in private. And it shows up when you need it most, when you're tempted to give up, when you feel like nothing's working, when doubt comes knocking. That's when your discipline speaks louder than your fear. And this is why you started. Not for quick fixes, not for shallow validation, but to become someone you respect, to look in the mirror and see a reflection of consistency, strength, resilience. That's what you're chasing. That's what HIIT unlocks. Not just faster fat burning, but faster breakthroughs. Because it strips away the distractions. It demands your presence, your focus, your full intensity. And it gives back something even more powerful than a lean body, a focused mind. When your mind is clear, your body follows. You stop fighting against yourself. You stop living in conflict. Your goals and your actions align. Your habits begin to match your vision. And that's when progress becomes inevitable. You're no longer hoping for change. You're driving it. This is what separates the few who break through from the many who stay stuck. Not talent, not time, not resources, but relentless commitment. A refusal to negotiate. An unshakable belief that no matter how far you have to go, no matter how long it takes, you're not backing down. That belief isn't loud, it's not flashy. It's quiet, disciplined, and unbreakable. And now that you've started walking this path, you owe it to yourself not to turn back. You've already done the hardest part, facing the truth. Now it's about building consistency, showing up when it's inconvenient, pushing through when no one's cheering, rising when no one sees. Because success doesn't require an audience, it requires action. Quiet, gritty, focused action. You don't need to be the fastest, you don't need to be the strongest, you just need to be the one who doesn't stop, the one who falls and rises again, who doubts but still moves forward, who feels fear and sweats anyway. That's what defines you. That's what transforms you. That's what turns a decision into a lifestyle and a workout into a breakthrough. So the question is no longer, can I do this? The question now is, how far am I willing to go to become who I was meant to be? Because the tools are in your hands. The plan is proven, the science is solid, and the potential, it's limitless. The only thing left is your decision, your effort, your fire.